to see the scores come through, seeing all the rounds go to the favour of CeX and which ones didn't. We were like, do not let this go to map 3. We can't afford another hour of downtime. But the hour of downtime will not come through as we get into our first map, Inferno, as picked by CeX. They will start things off on the T side with 2 double flash smokes on Rezu and Nuke Dog, with a defuse kit for Adam and a smoke and CZ for Cray, and Reflex out the standard. Kevlar, pistols, USPs, P2 for Ks, and Glocks for the T side.
Yeah, and I really like to see this setup come out from the CTs towards this A bomb site. Early on, we're seeing 4 CTs, and it allows that B player, that if they do go towards B, he can just fall back into CT and then retake 5 on 5. So keeping 4 members towards this A bomb site is the plan for the CTs, but it is going to be the contact play for the Ts. Already a lot of information gathered, but so far that smoke, that's just going to delay the presence.
And very simple stuff coming through as they try and hold off for as long as is possible. Teams make their way out towards the other position as well. We've got Nuke Dog and Rezi. 2 players with the utility going for the execution setup. Certainly will be set up immediately to receive the rest of the CeX force behind them and go and put that bomb onto the bomb site. There's only 2 players to defend it. You see Adam on your screens, and rotating in behind him is Fraser. Trying to see if they can find an angle, trying to see if they can find a way in. It looks like they're going to set up that utility. Probably smoked across and then another smoke over to Coffins. Seems like the most likely execution set here for the T side. 45 seconds left. If the first one goes out, it is the one for Cross. The second one will come through. The flashbangs go out. Adam does spot a few players when they cross on through. Nuke with a drive-by blind shot shuts him out. Zenex takes out Cravey Mold over to the A bomb set. 1-for-1 trade on that particular front. We go 4 versus 3, and CeX have control of it.
And now Fraser already getting punished down. The T's are just going to try and chase him. Find that kill! Oh, Fraser, that's a first nice shot, but he can't follow up with any more. Link now coming in with his teammate Whisk as well, but the T's are falling. Now it's all down to Murky. A 1v2 and in towards Banana. We do have a kit onto Whisk, so Murky needs to try and hit the first shot, but he can't do it. It is going to be CeX falling, the defuse going on, the kit as well. Reflex pick up the pistol round, and I tell you what, very nice shots being hit from the CTs on the retake there.
Very nice shots from CeX, of course, with the opening frags. Now they've got the bomb site for a reason. You know, very, very simple stuff. Just getting their way on through, shoot towards the cross, and tap that first 2. They've got their first 2 frags, including the luck towards the A bomb site, which could have gone a little bit better for them. I think if they got those 3 picks being completely untraded, then maybe we were looking at a pistol round for CeX. But as it stands, it will be opened up for Reflex, and a force spy coming through from the T side. 2 AKs. Is an excellent Nuke Dog with a scout in for Murky and 2 Deagles to back it up on Rosu and LS. They are lacking any Kevlar in this one. And Reflex, of course, will not be lacking a whole lot of anything. They realise that they need to go in with the head Kevlar of their own right. M4 will be out for Whisper, SMGs and everybody else to try and pick up the players. Like Rezu and LS get that money line rolling, and any more good sprays, any more good kills would be great enough for the CT side.
Yeah, and so far CeX haven't really been able to grant so much map control. They do have a lot of utility, so they do look to be, just in the position that we can see from them now, look to be trying to get the map control further on or later into the round, because so far we've still got a lot of utility to use for them. And Reflex are playing quite passive. It does look like the B hit's going to come out. It's going to be Whisk just falling back in towards the site. But it's going to be a B hit once again, all trailing in towards Banana. The boost coming up, and this is such a difficult position to check, especially when you've got so many members in towards this B bomb site. So it's going to be Adam boosted up, and CeX going in any second now. Flash is going on. They do check the boost, and unfortunately so far, it's not going to be Reflex finding anything. 1 kill, but it is an open bomb site, Jamie.
4v3 scenario. Reflex try to pick up some rifles. The M4 recovered on Fraser's part. Only player dropping his Rezo. Great flashbang from the T side to enter onto the bomb site, and LS will take a little bit of damage as he crosses, but very, very minimal. Only 3 points left on him. The defuse will be in from Link, rotating up to try and support behind Fraser. The smokes are still in play from the T side as they have all the map control that they need. And time is a ticket for Reflex. Eventually they realise that there is nothing being offered up on the CeX side, so they flash their way back out. They're going to try and get out of dodge. Escape with the defuse kit, escape with the Kevlar, escape with whatever they can, but the M4 is going to get caught by Nuke Dog, and that is a bad, bad sign. Link might be able to recover it if he can get a quick kill back in. No, LS with a 1 dig. Nice face to run the corner, that shuts him down, and Reflex are going to be responded to by CeX.
Great. Should be able to hold on to this MP9, bring it into the next round, but CeX a very good turnaround. They do manage to pick up that anti-eco, and I tell you what, a lot of them shots connecting really well, and for them to check that boost without even really clearing out the site. Sometimes you'll see the teams clear out the site, then check the boost. So it's like the boost player finds 1 kill, then gets traded. But they check him straight away, able to get that frag. And Reflex, they're actually going to fall straight back into this.
Yeah, straight up into the aggressive forces. And Zenex is going to try to take a good face out here towards the broken wall. But no one will get caught here. Adam and Whisk back out to a very significant crossfire here on the B bomb site, where it's just a 5-7 and a CZ essentially. Kevlar brought down as Reflex do force around the weapons that they had saved, which is the one SMG from Crane, that last one. Very passive stuff will come through from CeX. I think they read the same sort of force spike could come through from the Reflex boys, so they want to play this one carefully. They don't want to give up too much. You realize that one weapon, potentially a rifle, could be in play for that CT4, so getting away from the automatic forces, trusting they can stay away from any engagement they don't want to lose. Be a nice, smart play here. They do focus on the B bomb site, it seems. All 5 players stacking up over to the banana area, but 3 more here from Reflex on the defensive line. The boost will come through, one over towards the main bomb site itself. It's going to be a very interesting setup for Reflex to hold down the 3rd round.
Yeah, and especially how close they are together on this speed bomb sites. But it's going to be a Nuke Dog on the entry. So far, the Pistols coming in close quarters, and it's going to be Adam to strike first. But actually, no, it's going to be Whisk on towards with the CZ. Whisk finds another one. Can he find any more? He gets a dink as well. But so much damage being done to this CEX side. But they do get this bomb site control. The left of the CTs, there's only 2 left. Cray and Link left to try and retake. And realistically, this is going to be very tough. Low HP onto Xanax, but with a 3-on-2, it's going to be so tough. LS in towards Banana, takes down Cray. So it's all up to Link left. And with a Deagle and Flashbang and armor to use, and it doesn't even look like he's going to save it at this point. So it's going to be a double eco or an eco in the next round for them. So there's no real reason for Link to go for the save. Ooh, that's a nice shot.
Okay.
And that's just going to further damage the economy for the T side.
That's what needs to get the most out of this one. Almost gets the 2nd shot. There you go on ZNX and LS. It's just to be able to escape the bomb blast. Actually, will he escape the bomb blast? It'll be close. No, he got away. That's fine. Doesn't escape any damage. Any damage would have been severe against him. 1 M4 will stay in play for the C side. For Reflex, it's not a terrible round. Obviously, doing that extra damage with the CEX will limit the money state so they can rebuy back in. And Reflex have themselves an eco out for this one. And they're looking pretty hyped about that whole thing. CEX looking relatively good about it. Know they have got very, very confident measures into this next round. So out to the base DK of Reflex. They have stacked up the B-bomb site. Gamble stack at this phase, and the CX playing out towards the A default. So no luck for Reflex in this one, but it is a pretty standard eco round.
Yeah, but look, it'll be interesting to see CEX decide to go for this map control towards A. They haven't really left anyone lurking towards B, so they do realise that it is going to be an eco in this round coming out from Reflex, or a complete save, like what we've pretty much seen. So for CEX, they've sort of gambled that there's going to be no one towards B, or it's a little bit interesting. They're not even leaving a lurk player, because if there is a B stack like we're seeing, they might be aggressive down Banana and completely catch off these Ts. So CEX, they are taking their time, and they seem to be lurking out towards A. The bomb now falling out. Bomb site control gathered for the T side. And Reflex, like you said, they've just got pistols into this, so they're not looking to do too much. But look at this. The next hit lines up 1, but instantly traded. These pistols should be able to recover this AK.
Depends, really. Frank coming in from Rezu. Nuke Dog will take down Adam. Of course, they're going to have all their attention drawn away from this angle. Cray will be able to get AK picked up. Can he get away alive? No, he's going to answer that question. Let's get 2 Deagles down, however. Hold the phone. Still back here towards Mexico, somehow avoiding every bullet against Rezu. Deagle up here. No, there you go. But still, 3 kills to his name. That's a lot of damage done by him.
Yeah.
3 players falling down for CEX, and that means that there's going to be a lack of money going into this next buy.
Yeah, look, we do see an AWP come out from the CT side, and I feel like Fraser's been very impactful from the few matches that we've seen from him today, with an AWP being really an aggressive and a passive AWPer. So for Reflex, I'm going to be interested to see where this AWP is going to be used, but it seems like it's going to be a heavy setup towards B. Fraser missing the first shot, needs to follow up, he finds one. Can he find any more? Fraser in towards sandbags, can't do any more. The T's overwhelm him at that point, and the fast aggression from the T side. This has really caught the CTs off guard, but they're all here in numbers. The boost coming on Whisk as well. It is going to be a trade for the T's, but so far, CEX, even though the numbers were coming from the CTs, they get the bomb down.
From Link can't quite take down LS. He will be traded back as the Molotov takes out Link, and it's all going to be left on Cray. 1 versus 2. 1 towards his lane, not going to happen against Murky in the back lines. 1 quick headshot. It's a 4-1 on the board for the CEX squad as the defensive did kind of hold face for a moment on the Reflex side. Didn't quite get everything that he wanted to. You know, it's 1-for-1 traded and 2 versus 2, and then eventually Cray ended up falling to that Molotov. And oh, sorry, Whisk fell to that Molotov.
Yeah.
It was Link that fell to that Molotov. Sorry, just forgive me. It's very, very late, and you can tell that I'm just not quite with it at the moment.
One of the things I can give credit to is how fast those rotations were. They were incredibly quick, and they stacked up in numbers. But unfortunately, that boost player got boosted up, and I don't even think he found a kill. I think he was instantly killed. So for Reflex, I like to see that the rotations are so quickly. As soon as Fraser realises that information, it's the CTs running towards B. So for CEX, they got a little bit lucky there. The Crate to catch off a member here, and no!
Oh, that's not
Oh,
how
no!
that should go at all, Cray. That's tragic. Look at that, like, sitting there on 4 HP. He's happy about that. Like, yeah, I got away alive. No chance for you on this one. That's, of course, going to mean a 5th for the CEX squad. Yeah, looking pretty dominant so far. I mean, I'm taking a look at these lineups, and I do say that overall CEX kind of do win out in terms of just, you know, the general firepower. You know, Rezu and Ellis have always been on this roster for ages, and Nuke Dog being a great individual talent of his own right. But I would have felt that Reflex so far on the CT side would have felt a bit more of a fight. You know, I mean, I guess it can be T-side aggression from CEX.
Yeah.
But I really don't know what the map pools look like for either of these squads. You know, I'm not sure if it's just a bad map for Reflex, whether they're just not confident on CT side for Inferno, or there's the general thing about CEX versus Reflex as a whole. You know?
So far, Fraser once again. Oh my god, this utility doing so much damage. And the AWP of aggressive on Fraser can't find anything. It is going to be Link finding 2 with the AUG. And now the T's are only down to 3 remaining. Link, he wants a little bit more, but he can't find it. 3 on 3. And I feel like that was a little bit over-aggressive coming out from Link there.
I mean, he still was able to get 2 frags back, so there's that much at the very least. It would have been a man advantage if he was able to get back out of dodge, but not to be in this case. It is Cray isolated here on the A bomb site. He's not ready to rotate, but he still gets the frag. Spraying out, and ZNX catches him out towards the stack, and we'll be back to evens one more time. Whisk moving up with the M4. Smokes go down. Of course, they now know. He now knows where one of the T-side players are going to look out towards Pit. He's going to suspect that someone like LS is here, but seeing HE Nade will now know that there's one definitely in Pit. Does he know where ZNX is specifically? He's going to be backed up with the likes of Adam, making his way in. LS with a one-tap, simple shot, shuts him down. It will rest on Whisk, and they now know that he's here towards long smoke going out. 2 flashbangs, try and blind him off. They do catch him, they do take his head off his shoulders. LS, fantastic taps to the heads and 3 kills to his name. CX continue the hype train rolling at 6-1, 6 on the board in a row.
Oh, what a crisp shot coming out from LS. I mean, big play coming out from him. 13-2 he is at the moment. So far, heavy fragging potential on this CEX side. But for Reflex, it's going to be once again another eco. And fast aggression coming out towards Banana once again from the T's. They seem to be changing it up with their pace and sort of being a little bit initiative about it, or being a little bit innovative, I mean. But Whisk is with this CZ. We've seen how much damage they can do up close. He finds 2, but that's the bomb site open.
Yeah, 2-2 trade, eventually 3 versus 3 winning through, but as you say, the bomb site has been open for business by CEX. Small HP advantage for Reflex for these hand cannons. It's not exactly impossible. What can they get done out here? Damage to Fraser. Smokes up will kind of keep him blind. No defuse over for Reflex. If they want to commit to a retake, they have to do it right here, right now. No one is going to aggress further forward here. Time is a ticking. Link starting to face around the corner, look to prod and peek at the bomb site. Up incendiary right at the edge of the smoke. It spreads on towards him, and ZNX will take him down. Simple stuff as Reflex, just so passive in this retake. They might drop ZNX right here. 11 points of health. Fraser also on 3. You make up with a bomb. So he plays that down. Actually, this could be good enough. Eagle out does take him down. So damage again done to the T side, but with the rounds confident they've been able to get, they still managed to spiral this money out of control here. 11,000, 10,000, 6,500 at least on Nuke Dog as the poorest player pre-buy. So CEX, they're fine on my money, you know. Damage is only going to do so much for Reflex. The one thing they've been struggling to do so far is capitalize on it and put some good rounds on the board and reset CEX, you know.
But one of the things, Adam is 0-8 at the moment, so struggling very, very difficultly for Adam there. And he's been a player as well that's been consistently stepping up for this Reflex side, but so far, this has been a very good lead coming out from CEX. Their T-sides are looking incredibly strong, and I really love that they've been able to change up the pace of game, of how sometimes we see aggressive towards B and a fast pace, and then we see a default towards A, sometimes a bit of fakes, but now it's going to be the A execution. Cray underneath towards his short position finds the first, but he needs to try and find more, but that's going to be the instant trade. And once again, CEX, they just have this habit of getting side control so easily.
Not a habit, it's a pure blown hit. It's regimented, it's fast, it's CEX style of Counter-Strike in a 4 versus 3 scenario. Flash is coming through from the CET. He's going to try and break their way inside, but they don't. They realize this is over. They have to save the rifles. There's no money. No money for the CTs at all. Hundreds of dollars at best. No one breaking past that thousands mark. They are on max loss bonus, so they could potentially drop some stuff and get some stuff together for Cray and Fraser. But just, again, 8-1. This is going to be a full-blown, well, basically half advantage for CeX off the back of just 9 rounds of fighting. It's not very often you see that, and obviously it's a very dominating map when that happens. So Reflex, I did hear some ticks in my head. I'm hoping that's them calling for a tactical pause, because right now they kind of need something like that to try so they can get themselves back in the matchup. Spinning what exit frags go down here for the entry with round number 9. LS does take Adam out, and that's going to be even worse. And yeah, a pause will be called. Tactical or technical, I have no idea. Hopefully our producers can figure that one out.
And one of the things for CeX to mention is that what I love that we can see from them, Jamie, is how they sometimes take the passive approach, but when they change that decision to execute in towards the site, they're just so quickly with it. So even though they lose a few members getting in towards that site, they are so incredibly quick. Like we saw in that round towards A, they get control of brackets, they get control of apartments, and then they just run into the site. That change of pace from actually getting towards the site and then entering is so incredibly fast. And for the CTs, they haven't been able to find a way to sort of stop that pressure, because it's not as if they're rushing every round. They're not. But when they get into the site, even if they're in a man disadvantage, they put themselves in such great post-plant situations, and Reflex haven't had that opportunity to be able to even retake. I mean, you look at that 4 rounds in a row that the bomb didn't even get exploded.
I mean, you just sort of see that just big wall of yellow, and it's like, it's not been a very fun time for Reflex side. And they're taking a tactical pause for it as well. This is what that pause has all been about. So that 60 seconds going to be used well enough by that CT side. See if they can get themselves back into this one. Obviously, part of it to decide the buy, because they did lose one of those rifles, and they're going to opt. Okay, well, do you know what? Let's save on this one. Let's just go for one more round in lost bonus. See if we can get themselves on the back of that. Wisp will get aggressive with the M4, but shut down immediately by Zenex. And look at how quick CX really are going. So much damage. I'm going to set up for one, but Fraser they're going to trade. Can they get the trades? No. Only the one frag with a 5-7 before he's traded back by Nuke Dogs with 2 versus 2. The AWP of Link is all that remains in play here. Great. Be leading the charge with the automatic weapon in the season. Might boost that AWP up. Oh, he's caught out with smoke in his hand and just gets out of dodge, fortunately enough, but Link not so lucky in this case. AK takes it down. Cray peeks around the corner, hearing shots coming in from both sides. There's a Nuke Dog, does take the headshot, hold the phone actually. AK picked up, the fuse in his hand and the Molotov down, but he can't stick the whole thing. He's 36 points of health down. Reloading, trying to see if we can find him. Re-smoke on the bomb site, potentially will tap it once. Face against LS, sprays on through blind. He sees the traces and just clutches it together for Reflex. What a play from Cray for the 2K. And a second for Reflex.
Yeah, that was incredibly nice. That was a really nice round coming out from Cray. The 1v2 and that first shot with the CZ, very nice indeed. And Reflex, they come alive, and what a clutch. And I feel like this is the perfect situation, is when the timing is within this game that it needs to happen, because at the moment, 2-8, it is a very desperate scoreline coming out for the CT. So this round might give them, or the last round might give them a little bit more momentum to come back into this. But aggression towards Banana once again, and Murky, what? He caught the player jumping to spot.
Well, Murky will be taking up the 15s. That's a small advantage gained by Reflex, but man advantage gained by CEX. ZNX sacrificing his life to gain control of the bomb site basically for CEX, and they're happy with that one. The bomb plot will go down, and Reflex aren't even trying for this retake. They're like, yep, okay, we lost this one. And that's a reset against the CT side. What do you have to do if you're Reflex? Just knowing how quick CEX can act, and how much, I don't want to say much of a poor job, but how you're struggling to get the T side force. Like, how do you change that? How do you break that sort of line of form with your Reflex on this CT side?
For me, just looking at a positional, I suppose, I don't know, looking at it from the CT side, I feel like they need to counter the aggression with their own aggression. I feel like they need to at least try it. I feel like bring 3 players towards Banana, use heavy utility, try and get deep Banana control, and even hold it or try and fall back. But I feel like they need to counter this aggression coming out from the T's, because at the moment, CEX are just flying through at the moment. I mean, you look at that, Murky finds an entry, and as soon as they find the entry, the Molotov's in towards Banana. Rather than putting a smoke on it, or rather than falling back, they just keep running. It's like a train. It doesn't stop.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed we saw from teams like, London Slayers or something like that, is the, especially in Inferno maps, is how much aggression the CTs really did take, Reflex so far haven't gone so far as the broken wall of Banana. They haven't gone past the entrance to mid from CT side. Look, they're doing the exact same thing again. Passive control towards short, longs, entirely open. 2 players on the crossfire towards B and CX. Just going to charge down long. The only place they didn't really account for. Straight into check speedway. Murky around this corner. Spot 1. AWP will actually take him down. Fraser's part. Second kill on LS. And Wiz spots the AK, but never mind. Fraser will get 3 kills. 4 kills on the AWP. Link shuts down 1 more. And the pit position is held so effectively from Reflex's AWP. That's more like it. That's a defensive we want to see.
That was a really strange round from CeX. I mean, they look. We have seen aggression from them before, but they sort of just work in towards that long area, and they go straight past. But the AWP from Fraser's already been spotted out, and they sort of peek one by one straight into the crosshairs of the AWP. They don't really work together. But look, that's another round for Reflex, and I tell you what, they're going to be happy with that. But look how fast the T's are once again in towards brackets, Jamie.
CeX getting shut down last time around, and they will get shut down for the first frag in this round, but Cray, let's dodge in the second phase. Back entirely blinds him, and Cray gets himself a double kill. Back in for the third, we'll spot LS crossing, and now the CTs on the bomb site will realise what's up. They've got one bomb out to this long position. And one more T-side, I think, player heard towards short. Fraser's already watching this with the AWP. Smoke down, trying to keep from moving any further forward. Meanwhile, ZNX is over towards Banana, trying to see if he can lurk, get any sort of control out here, but nothing more shown by CeX. They have slowed things down. Now Reflex are counting. They're countering that aggression like you were saying. You know, they haven't quite countered with their own aggression. But they have managed to find some positions where they're ready for CeX to charge down, charging towards long, get that play to get themselves 2 quick frags, and now ZNX is left alone. With a bomb out here towards short in quad, caught off by Adam in the backstab. That's 1 kill found by the CeX side. Cray with 3 of his own. Fantastic stuff from Reflex's main long defender.
And I tell you what, standing behind the CeX boys before, ZNX is so incredibly sharp. He looks young. I don't know how old he is, but he looked young. And just watching him play, I want to see what we're going to see from him in this best of 3. But so far, CeX, they come off with a beautiful start to this first half. We have seen a little bit of a shift that Reflex have been able to pick up a few rounds here and there. They've got 3 in the last 4. But for CeX, I mean, even if we see a 9-6 half on this T side, I feel like CeX would still be happy with that if it went that way.
CeX calling a tactical here at 9-4 on the T side board. I mean, intently think and speak about things, trying to figure out what's going on. And have a chat and a figure thing. Obviously, you know, they realise now that Reflex have cottoned on. You know, it took them a while to cotton on, but they've cottoned on now, and they got shut down pretty effectively in that last round as a result. So you know, you got to look at that and think, okay, well, how do we counteract that? You know, obviously we've got a lot of aggression to our own rights. We've got a lot that we can work with. You know, we've got a lot of potential available on our side, but now we've got to play around what Reflex's defensive is holding up. And in this next round, it's less than likely that they can pull that off. They are going for a half buy here. A little bit of money in the savings accounts, but looking for that third round buy-up with enough money. I think LS might have a couple of problems with the AK buy-up that brought out here, but everybody else should also be able to get themselves a pretty decent buy-up against the AWP of Fraser. The AKs on 2 of Adam and Link. M4s on Whisk and Crate. Obviously the 4-buy coming through in CeX, just avoiding all the Molotovs that they can to try and make sure that they gain early Banana control. Reflex backing off a little bit without getting any solid kills, and I think that's really what cost them a little bit on this defensive. They will rotate a 3rd player in to defend the B-bomb site. And Fraser right around his corner with the AWP. He's landed so many 6 shots so far. On to Murky, Molotov back, facing in the 2nd kill, comes to his fame. Whisk gets himself 2 of his own right. Let's all trade out Fraser. The AWP will fall. LS now left alone. 1 versus 3 actually. Does catch 1 more player. There's some serious damage to Reflex on the half buy as well. That's not even too bad. 2 players down when Reflex are only getting themselves on their feet when it comes to the economy game. It's not a terrible round, I don't think, from CeX, but LS could go a little bit further. Certainly he seems like he wants to.
Yeah, this position here, it could try and catch off one of the CTs at least. But oh my god, he's going to flank. He's going to be going in the back lines. This could be the biggest play so far from LS. He just needs to not show his position. And he's seen 1. He should be out of... Oh no! Craze down to 19. The bomb's being stuck at the moment. LS... Oh, that could have really... He could have won that. What a shame. And a big round coming out from Reflex. And I tell you what, to get a bomb planted to take down 3 members on the CT side on a half bite, you've got to be impressed with that result.
And all he had to do was hit the damn spray. That's all he needs to take Cray down.
Do you want to sub in?
No. I know I can't do any better, mate. Are you kidding me? There's a reason I'm up here in the casting booth and not down there playing for the title. Double up setup from Fraser and Adam. They are playing for a title right here. 3rd place prize up for grabs. Of course, guaranteed for the winner of this matchup. Of course, already guaranteed for London and their opposing force in London Slade. It was the 5 AKs coming through from CeX. A nice gap for Adam to try to take the face out here. The initial face in towards the Banana position. We'll try and get himself back behind the wall. Flashbang's over. Shot just going to miss out by a small intro and past the first T-side player as he crosses just in time. CeX gain easy control. This time playing a bit more smart and slowly, flash peeking their way in, getting the CTs away from their lines, so that way they can you know, get map control, play off the back of that, go for the execution on the default play. Reflex, 2 players up here. Orpa, Fraser, M4 of Whisk, Adam, Cray, and Link are over on the A-bomb site, and they're not going to see the whole lot. Actually, it seems CeX setting up all their utility, ready for the backstabs, ready for the smokes, ready for everything they have to throw at this round. CeX execution towards B.
And for Reflex, they have to try and hold on. Adam and Whisk in towards this B bomb side. The execute now coming on. Adam has been Molotov at the moment in towards Dark. It's going to be Whisk to find the first. Tries to fall back, but the AWP can't find anything. Whisk can't find anything either. And the CTs, they are rotating in towards B, but the bomb should be planted any second now. And there it is, a 3-on-4 as Reflex look to try and retake in towards this B bomb site. A little bit of utility to use. They do have kits, so they can't run down the time as much as they want, but not too much. Now the Molotov coming in towards the new box. Fraser watching the line. Nice kill from Fraser. The flashbang to follow up towards Banana, and Fraser, he needs to answer with some more. Finds out more information to player as well. And look at this. It's all down to Murky. 1v3. And he's in the back lines, Jamie. This could be it. Murky. Oh, he finds one. Oh, he doesn't find the second. The defuse is happening, and Reflex, they pick up their 6th.
What a backstab from Murky. It came in a little bit too late, though. Certainly, if he could have gotten there before his teammates went down, before the AWP was baiting in kills, and of course the Molotov playing in from that AWP was perfect to shut down the first player, and from there the whole round capitulated for the remaining T-side members of CeX. Do concede one more to end off the half, but 9-6, it's not a bad half at all from there, not a bad half for Reflex. Obviously, you expect that CT side to go a little bit better, but you know, these days we're seeing many more T-side halves more than anything else for Inferno, so pistol round is going to be one of the important ones. Reflex going into this one with a double flash smoke for Adam, a single smoke and Molotov for Cray. Default pistols across the entire T-side line, and the same can be said for CeX out here. Careful of the defuse get on LS, and Nuke Dog taking a dink down towards the mid position. It's all going to be left to ZNX. Out here towards second, spotted, taps up one, and gets a second headshot as well, with Rezu following up with one more frag, who's only spots out Cray, and Link is way too isolated. So many CTs to worry about. Rezu going to drop down, and he still gets the frag. Link will trade it and get a second headshot once again, on for 3 kills potentially. We'll see the one man towards Mexico, but too many players to worry about. 2 more behind him. And 86 points of health to try and get the 1v3 clutch. An ace clutch as well.
Let's see if it's doable for Link. And so far, he does have the bomb on his back, so that's a big advantage into this round, not having to recollect the bomb, but his teammate's falling, and ZNX, really nice 2K in towards the apartments, and that just slows down the push coming out from the T's, and now it's all up to Link. In a 1-on-3 clutch scenario, found out the first, but he needs to try and get the kill, and so far the player in towards the site isn't peeking, and Nuke Dog still in towards the pit, and should be able to fall, and is going to fall!
Oh my god, Link! No goddamn way. Seriously, there is no goddamn way he'll pull this off. 30 seconds to his name, he spots Rezu, he taps up, he can't get the headshot. The bomb plant should come through back towards the back box. So here the footsteps coming forward. Taps on first. Spots there for the second phase. He's tapping his way, but Rezu keeps the round control for CeX. Barely holding on to double digits and barely holding on to the pistol.
Oh, Link. You could see that it was happening. You could see that the 1v5 was possible. 4 kills in the round, and Link brings it into a 1-on-1, but he can't deliver the crucial final shot to the head. Reflex falling, and CeX picking up their 10th round, and Reflex, they come into this with a force buy. An AK onto Whisk, and Deagles and CZs across the board. Utility to use, but CeX, what a great start to the second half.
Yeah, almost went tits up, let's not lie right here. Reflex left Link on a he's clutch. He almost found it, you know. I could see one simple bullet going a little bit further differently, and then it would have been a very different story coming through for Reflex. Because it stands to be up for the force buy, and already Rezu will trade one as Ellis is the first casualty here on the CT side. First casualty in the round, of course. CeX. Do stop the initial aggression coming through from the Reflex side. I mean, they do go out towards the mid position and ready for 2 players up to the middle. And 60 seconds left for them to try and make the hit work. Obviously, they've got a little bit of utility still left on the bomb on the back of Link. The defensive being held on the back of Murky here. A bit of a quiet game for him so far, but what can he do in this SMG? Maybe he might be able to line up the spray on all the players. Backup has arrived, and here they come right out towards the pit position. Here the footsteps to his left-hand side. He will be taken down immediately. Rezu next to face in the middle of the smoke zone. I'm going to catch 3 bullets against him. They think they might be safe, and Link drops the bomb. Back in for the second on the spray. Can he get a 3? No! Whisk trades it back, but Nuke rotates in, and he's going to line up 2 of his own right. 7 HP, he stays alive, and CeX connect 11.
Seems like all the big plays are happening now. 11-6, CeX with a 5-round lead on the CT side of Inferno.
Another pause as well.
And a much needed pause. I think it is definitely needed. CEX looking so incredibly strong, and Murky as well. The AWP player, seen him, especially in the last game, be very impactful with the AWP, but he's 6-12 at the moment.
It's an interesting thing. I've just been informed that it's a tactical pause for CEX.
Really?
Really?
That's interesting. Now, I suppose the reason going into this is they realised that it should be a either a full buy coming in or a half buy for the T's. But at this situation, they realise CX how important it is to win out this round. If they lose, or even if they win with low, like if there's 2 players left and they win out the round, it's not going to help them. Look at their economy; it's quite low at the moment. They have the AWP, they have an SMG to use as well. But I feel like for CEX, maybe this pause is just to sort of slow them down. They realise, look, let's just use the pace. Let us set the pace. We're on the CT side now, but we feel like we've got the upper edge. We feel like we're in the advantage position, and maybe it's just a breather. Maybe it's just a breather.
I mean, it might well just be, but either way for CEX, a tactical wouldn't be too far out of the realms of a good idea, obviously. You know, to stop the pace of Reflex or try and think about their own context and where their whole situation is right now. Try and figure out, you know, where do they want to stand in this one? Where do they think they can stand in this one more than anything else against the Reflex side, who will be on a decoy for this next one? It seems like mostly Deagle's being brought up with the upgraded pistols, but no much more than that.
I only heard about that the other day. Is the deco? I've never heard of that before.
Really?
That's in Australia. In Australia, it's definitely not a term. And look at that.
Oh, what? That's
a lot of utility damage.
And look at Adam as well. He's got even more.
Yeah.
261 utility damage. That's a lot of utility. That's a lot of nade usage. I think that's mostly down towards the apartments and towards the banana area.
Yeah.
Where they were trying to face on the CT
Pretty
side.
much always banana when it's that high, especially on Inferno. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, no, deco. It's not a term that's said in Oz. It's never heard of it. But I can't remember who said it. Someone said it the other day, and I thought it was like revolutionary. I thought like this is unbelievable. It's like this is taking some serious thought.
Oh my word.
Universal.
Mate, honestly, you know, I think all our cool should be universal. Make it easier.
Well, I don't know. Actually, no. To be fair, it actually probably should be. Like, I feel like every region's call-outs are different, and especially if you're like a player, like on an international team, and you got 5 players from different regions, everything's different.
Okay. So just being informed that we actually had a second pause come through for Reflex. They used one of their own tacticals.
See, I didn't think you could do that.
Apparently you can. That being said, though, it's gone on for a little bit of time. I was like, oh, it's a technical pause. Oh, my bad. Excuse me. That's my bad. I'm being an idiot. All right, well, don't know what the nature of that technical pause is, but either way, Rezu and Co are having a great time down there on the CEX side, figuring out exactly what's going to be going on.
You know they're having a good time when the coach is drinking a beer.
Yeah, mate. I think they should drink a cider based off the colour.
You reckon?
I think so. I don't know. I can't quite tell because it kind of blends in with the colour of his shirt and his jersey. But yeah, no. CEX, you can see where they are right now. Very close to the admin desk, the admin area.
What's great as well is like I think this is the only CS match of an official that's happening right now, and look how many people are still on their computers.
Welcome to UK land, in short.
But to be fair, there is a lot of people standing behind CEX right now.
Yeah, no, this one is obviously a very hyped match because CEX are a team that have a lot of potential behind them. You're looking at how, you know, at what they have and you know, the sort of like history that CEX have in the UK, especially with UK Counter-Strike. Like, you know, the team that they've had, you know, especially when you take a look at Rezu and how long he's been with the roster. Like, he was with their first ever land victory at I-56. Back in summer of 2016.
That's a while ago.
Rezu has been part of basically every single major CEX lineup since that point, you know, including the lineups that they had with Smooya, for example. Smooya used to play for CEX.
Did he?
Yep.
Didn't know that.
Including the Epic Land runs that they've had to second place. They had a third place run at I-59. You know, there's been so many massive lands that CEX have been a part of and tried to make a play for in the UK scene. So seeing them come forward at this one, you know, have a relatively good roster of their own, right? You know, again, they really would like to make a top run to a top 3 again. You know, Epic Land seems to be the one home where they do consistently well. You know, they've won sort of a lot of lands under the Epic banner. Second place at a lot of lands under the Epic banner.
Okay.
And they seem to place usually within that top 3. So there's a lot of pressure on these guys' shoulders to try and keep that moniker going for the organisation.
And one of the things as well, the player on the right, ZNX, You should see how close his face is to his monitor. It's unbelievable. Like when I was watching.
I think that baseball cap is there to actually limit him from getting too.
Oh no,
close
there's a
to the
player to the
monitor.
right even further.
He's also got a baseball cap. That's what I'm saying. Oh no, is it not?
No, there's
Oh, sorry,
another
that's the
player
guy behind
Yeah,
him. My mistake.
but
I mean, to be honest, that's how I do it. Though. I use
Really?
a baseball cap just to make sure that I just like don't shove my face right up to the screen.
you can almost lick it.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
The 18th round, we see an AWP onto Murky, and so far not really a buy coming in from Reflex. We see a few upgraded. The Deco coming out, but other than that, it's not going to be any utility used. And Banana Control just opted to come out, where CeX, they're going to play passive into this round. But look how much aggression we see from Reflex already up to the top of Banana, the broken wall. And Adam on towards his Deco. And what can Reflex do? ZNX already spotted out the head. Oh, nice kills so far coming out. Rezu as well. Lots of Molotovs coming out. And ZNX lines up 2. Running through the Molotov is Rezu. And the T's now making their way towards A. We're going to follow up Cray. P250. Trying to connect some shots. Rezu down low. But other than him, so far not much done. Nuke Dog in towards the pit. Does have his teammate on towards the site. An easy clean-up coming out from CEX. 12-6, Jamie. And for Reflex, I don't even see a comeback being possible on Inferno at this point.
It's very, very difficult. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible per se, because obviously it's only been the pistol plus a fourth fire plus an eco.
But
so
look out, it's just so, like, CEX, even in that first half, we saw like 8 rounds in a row come out. They've just been playing so solid.
I mean, no. The thing about it is that also Reflex have been able to do some good work in terms of countering me. So it took a while for them to get that counter play in the first half, but they are finding the opening pick in this one. Adam killing out Rezu. ZNX has got the trade back with the Molotov onto Adam. Obviously abusing that banana aggression to try baiting the frag from the Reflex side. Unfortunately, he couldn't get the kill before his teammate went down, so it all rests in the shoulders of the remaining CEX players, and of course, ZNX being up here to the B banana position. Just going to take contact play, jump around this half wall, broken wall, catch off anything that he can, but nothing will be there. Backup will arrive in this case, but just in time for Reflex to make their execution in towards the A-bomb site workout. They've got 2 players on the crossbar, LS and Nuke Dog, AK and M4. AK on a bomb site, M4 a pit. And 60 seconds left for Reflex to make their hit inside. They will just slowly prod and set up the utility. There's to be flashbangs over, smokes down towards the long position. And here they go. It's going to be blind off into the CEX, and the T's make their way inside. 1 from ups as well, and 3 more coming in from short. Let's see if they can make it happen.
Well, Nuke Dog has been already flushed out of his position from that Molotov, but he isn't seen Cray and takes his head off. Can he find any more? Nuke Dog with 2 LS as well, and Fraser the last one left. A 1v4 AK in hand, smoke to use, but Reflex falling to pieces as a 13th round comes out for the CTs, and CEX. What a stronghold towards that A-bomb site.
A deadly crossfire from LS and Nuke Dog. Nuke Dog almost lining up 3 kills in total. LS just to steal the last one away, but that's fine.
That's not very nice.
It's fine.
It's team play.
It's team play. That's all it is, you know. It doesn't matter who gets the kills. All we need is the round. And the round is what CeX is going to get. 13 of them, in fact. Unlucky 13, I guess you could say, for Reflex. As they are looking in dire straits right now. Maybe this comeback might be a bit too far gone, because this next eco round is going to lead to CEX's 14th. From there, you're looking at map point for the first map of our best of 3. A lot of work to be done by Reflex to try and pull this one back. Else, they have to look towards Overpass, our second map, which was picked by them, admittedly. So there is a bit of a better chance on that second map that they can do some decent damage. Although that being said, damage can be done by Adam, facing in from Banana, getting so much map control at the back of like no utility. Will be challenged by Rezu 4 in the end, but not a lot of damage coming through again. Reflex just left it eco in this one. Flash and a smoke to try and get themselves onto the A-bomb site. They flash their way in, smoke their way up, and here they come. See if they can try and contend with a few rifles that are left on the CT side.
Well, Murky, with this AWP, just sitting towards this short corner, as he looks to see if he can find that first pick, and it is just upgraded pistols on this T side, but Murky, such a good position, lines up 2, Jamie, and that's, you don't want to see that if you're Reflex.
Well, good night.
Let's go to bed.
That's not fun. Not that fun at all.
How satisfying is it when you line up 2 with the AWP? I mean, can't say that it happens to me very often, but when you do,
it doesn't happen to me at all. I never pick up the AWP. I can't use it.
So what gun do you use that you can use, Eddie?
AK, M4,
Ooh.
MP5 sometimes.
Org.
Org. I haven't actually tried the AUG yet, to be honest. I'm still thinking of my guns and the hip-fire weapons, but speaking of hip-fire weapons, Rez is going to take his one straight up towards Mexico. Look at how far pushed up the CTs have gone, and Zenex and Murky going to get one thing. Has no idea. They've got bomb control. No one there to trade the AWP from Fraser. Will rotate in and take him back to the 3 versus 2, but it's a 3 versus 2. Well and truly to the favour of CeX. Wiz got his back turned to one more CT, and Nuke Dog just shoots him in the side of the head. What a disaster from Reflex in this round, and Fraser, well, what can he do but try his best to clutch it out? He's got a hell of a task ahead of him with one CT up. He does hear a footstep and does take Murky down. That's something. Spotting Link. Sorry, LS for the second one. Smoke up, nades in. He should get a bomb plan out of this one. So 40 seconds on the retake. CeX again have 2 defuse, get some 2 rifles to work with Fraser. Both coming in from the same angle, and the flashbang will go out. Can we surely spot this? One player around the corner, damage being done, but not by much. Headshots not connecting, and look, Dog will take him out. Map point for CeX. A very, very confident CT side, which I believe they haven't lost a single round so far, Blake.
Well, it's 96.5. So you are correct, Jamie. And Reflex have been struggling so far. Like you said, not being able to pick up a single round. And interesting there is that the CTs pick up 2 AKs. They don't pick up the AWP, but I mean for them, look how strong their economy is.
They don't need to pick up the AWP. It's fine.
Keep them AKs.
Yeah. Keep the AKs, get the firepower together. More than anything else, CeX would rather have the headshot potential rather than having to say the AWP in place. I mean, especially when they can already buy it, it makes the most amount of sense. So let's see if they can close it out right here, right now. Aggression coming through. Nuke Dog will fall. Race not ready for them, but ZNX lines up 2 more straight through the smoke as a 4 versus 3. And Reflex crumble in the early part of the defaults. Didn't even get the chance to get any banana control whatsoever here, Dwayne. Didn't get the chance to do anything before they got ripped apart out here. And you know, I imagine that might be round over all the same, but we have seen them come back from worse situations. Again, linking that ace clutch on the pistol round in the second half. They've got 3 players this time to contend with the 4 of the CeX squad. Headshots count. Reflex the task ahead of them, making their way into the A bomb site. The crossfire here is the AWP of Murky on bomb site, and Ellis with the AK back here towards the pit position. They might sneak around towards long, but they might have to contend with the likes of Rezi, but they'll play passively for the moment, Reflex.
And Reflex trying to make their way on towards this A bomb side, but it's going to be Murky in towards the side. The AWP relocating to see if he can find a better angle. Is flashed at the moment. LS going to find one. Tries to follow up again, but he's just going to get traded. Fraser finding 2, and these are very important kills. Murky in the side falls as well. Fraser coming alive when needed. And CeX on match point. And there it is, a 7th round coming out from Reflex. And what an opening coming out from Fraser. Finds 3 in the round. He's 18 and 17 at the moment. A big round coming out from him.
Massive, absolutely massive. CeX on the precipice of victory, and Reflex still got a little bit of fight kicking here, Dweg. They're not going to let them go so far out of this one. And 15 to 7 will, of course, be on that board still. 8 to match points, map points for CeX to work with. So Reflex will have a task ahead of them with the buy-ups. M4s will press down here towards the wood stack. Rezu out here. We'll try and see if we can back off with the nades in over to the stairs, followed up by 1 more. So try and see if they can get a kill out of 2 nades. The stack out from CeX doesn't quite work up for the frag. Reflex are going to avoid the banana position. Play out towards the A bomb site this time. This has been where they've been most successful so far. I mean, the B bomb site hasn't always been hit so well. The crossfire from CeX is relatively good, but this time they're going to play both, or all 3 actually, all towards the short area. And we'll face around. Here comes LS for the first one. Burke tapping through, and LS takes the first man down. Link with a quick trade, and Nuke Dog tries to take it right back. Link around his corner, flash insists in with a headshot, drops the bomb, goes back in with a second, but he can't get at him. And now it all rests in the hands of Murky. AWP close at the bomb site. Serious taps on taps and serious accurate shots need to be contained with, as the CTs will rotate and try and bracket them in. Reflex now have to commit today.
Yeah, this is so tough for Murky. He's just stuck in towards the side at the moment. He needs to try and hit a first shot. He can't lose his life at this point, but it's going to be his teammates chiming in. Zenenax finding a very important kill, and now Reflex are down. Oh my god, now it's all down to Zenenax left. 19 HP and up against 2. He knows where the position of both these teams are, but he's making so much noise jumping around, and I don't think he really meant to do that. The young star for CeX, and he picks up the AWP, and this could be a safe call.
This is a safe call, yeah. 17 points of health, a hell of a 1 versus 2 to make happen. You imagine it must not be possible, even with Cray being as low as he is. The CeX have to get out of dodge, save that big green gun. The economy that they had built up so well and defined so easily across the course of their CT side is now just going to fall to pieces here. The AWP does give them a few buying options, though, I think. Like, they have to see whether they want to go for the eco off the back of this or just end up saving.
Yeah, look, it's a difficult situation because for CEX, for them, I feel like mentally they just want to get this game over and done with. They want to get into the next map, which is Overpass. They just want to get in there. So maybe for them, they're thinking that force buying could be a really good option for them. They're actually able to get another AWP across onto Murky. So they could have a double AWP setup if they wanted to. So I will actually be surprised whether CEX force into this because it's definitely possible and they have a lot of rounds to work with.
Well, pause here. For whom? For whom? For whom? For whom? I imagine it. Well, actually, to be honest, I imagine it could be CEX. I could also see it being easily Reflex, for example. Yeah, it is CEX. So CEX have made the call. They're going to save this one. A part of this play, a part of this sort of like discussion time is going to be to discuss, are they going to force buy on this one? They have got some Kevlar out for every single player. So $2,000, $2,000, a little bit of money available for them, you know, a little bit of a chance to go for a force buy around the AWP. But it will mostly just be pistols and upgrades. Or it mostly will just be SMGs.
Yeah, well, look, if they keep this, they should have a relatively strong buy because it will be the third round losing bonus into the next. Keeping that AWP alive, and they could actually do a fair bit of damage on towards this T side, just seeing of how their buy is and how strong their CT side has been so far. We have seen 6 rounds in a row come out on their CT side, but now we've seen 2 from Reflex. They need 7 more rounds in a row if they have any chance of taking it to overtime. And I tell you what, for CEX, they're looking to try and take it here and now. Match point for CEX and the AWP for Murky. I want to see what he can do with it.
ZNX going to take that first face out towards the B bomb site. Murky himself will be placed out towards long. Not a terrible position actually for the AWP. Usually it is towards long, either directly facing down mid or over towards the B bomb contact positions. Reflex. Oh, so passive so far. Just play around the mid and second mid defaults while playing with the apartments. 2 players actually stacked up with the apartments ready to receive it, and Nuke Dog will take Cray to kick things off. Ready for the face on the next player around this corner, but no one from Reflex will be there. I think it was a 1 single tap to the headshot as well, a double tap on the head armor. And Murky now pushing a little bit further up. They've got a bit more map control, and Whiska's no idea what's about to hit him. Not checking the right side, not at the right time, and he will fall to the AWP. A 5 versus 3 CEX. Now going to have to deal with the contention of the T side making their way into the banana position. 2 players on the crossfire, one with a deagle, sorry, both with a deagle, scratch that. But it's not going to come into fruition. CEX have to rotate a third player up here, but Reflex going to commit towards A. LS and Murky. Task ahead of them. Murky facing. 1 more kill to his name, and they're just getting picked apart piece by Reflex.
Oh, Murky doing so much damage into this round. It's all up to Fraser and Adam to try and pick up the pieces and keep the hopes alive for Reflex, and they can't do anything. It's all down to Fraser, and there it is. CEX pick up map number 1 on Inferno, 16-8, and Jamie, Overpass is